Right now, I have on the line with me a good friend of mine. I've known you for how long? I've known you.
So we
7 years.
met. It's been a while. It was right when I was 22. I was working at Story right when it opened up, and you were doing security there.
Yeah,
So that's how we met back in the day. So it has been about 8 years.
yeah. It's been pretty much about 8 years, man. Good, good colleague, good friend of mine, Nick. Man, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm just here at home taking it day by day right now.
Yeah, same here. So as everybody knows, you and I, we're pretty much, in the same industry, one of the same industries, the concierge slash industry, nightlife business. And, these times have really changed a lot. I'm sleeping at night now. Like it's been a different world. So, first of all, I just want to make sure, I want to see how you doing, how you're feeling, and how have you been dealing with this change, this situation, this pandemic, pretty much, working at 11, everything else too, to pretty much doing what you're doing now. So talk to me about like the changes and, what you've been up to.
I mean, I've been taking this time honestly to try to come out of the whole quarantine thing stronger. So my goal is to just come out, smarter and physically stronger. I see a lot of people, taking this whole thing negative, like, oh God, I have to be home, this and that. But the way I'm looking at it is, if you're not coming out of quarantine, with a new skill set, if you're not coming out, healthier, in better shape, with a new business idea or something, that's just like you lack self-discipline. So I'm taking this whole break, from the real world as just like, it's like we're training, we're getting ready to get back at it.
Yeah, because things are we'll probably never get back to like normalcy, quote unquote, whatever that is now, but we are gonna get back to work. Clubs and everything else too is gonna pretty much be open. I'm just actually, I don't know if you kind of feel the same sentiment too, about like, how our other colleagues, how they've been pretty much dealing with this, because a lot of people, me, I have different streams of income, I do different things, but there's a lot of people that the nightlife business, that's the only thing that they do. So, like, what's your take? Like, what's your insight when it comes to that? And like, what is your advice right now during that time for them?
Well, my advice is to, all the, people that work in the clubs, whether you're, a VIP host, a manager, or you're just like an independent promoter, is really take this time to reach out to all your colleagues. I would start off with that. And the reason why I say colleagues is because, those are the ones that, that you're with. You're working with them, day in and day out. They're with you on the good nights. They're with you on the bad nights.
Mm-hmm.
So reach out to them. Just make sure your team's good. Just a simple, hey, how you doing? Everything okay? That's what I've been doing. Every other day, I'll text some of the guys on my team just to check in and make sure they're good. Once your team's good and they got everything that they need, then, start texting clients. And the reason why I say clients is because as a client, you might think that the dude that takes care of you at whatever club you go to, only hits you up because he's inviting you to come to the club. I've always been that guy where I want to have a client, but I want to develop that client into a real friend.
Yeah.
And it's not just someone that I hit up or they hit me up when they need something that involves going out at night.
Yeah, or
right?
getting money or anything like that,
Yeah, you don't want these clients to feel like you're only hitting them up to take their money. If you know what I mean.
And this is actually, and it's first of all, you actually have to have a level of sincerity. Don't just do it because you have to do it and you feel like that's like another way to like try to get in your clients' pockets. Yeah. But I have sincerely been taking this time to occasionally, not even occasionally, honestly, frequently, contacting my clients or what I have, because it's and this is pretty much the same approach I feel like you have too. Like your clients are not just your clients; they're not just money. They're also family too. They're also confidants. They can be mentors. They can be friends. They can be also a part of the family. So this is in a time right now where just being human is like one of the most important parts. and especially when people view us from the outside in, that we're not really too humane. We're just like machines, and we all care about is friggin' money. I think this is the time, to put that step forward and to really, really care about, like the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For all the people in nightlife, I think right now is a time where it's really gonna separate you from the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
On how you're taking all this free time, what you're really doing with it. So I definitely suggest, for all the guys and all the guys and girls in nightlife to definitely reach out to all their clients and make sure they're good and just keep in contact with them. They'll really appreciate that at the end of the day. And then whenever the doors do open back up to whatever venue these people work at, it's going to be easy to to get them to come out and show love.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of having the doors open, hopefully it's a lot sooner than later. Whenever that time does come, what is your honest opinion about, I guess, the initial response that we'll have when it, because right now what we're doing, we're practicing social distancing, we're practicing 6 feet apart, we're having masks, having gloves, from a industry that we're in where when we have closed corridors, it's especially 11, it's very intimate, like everybody's together, everybody's partying together, everybody's pretty much right next to each other. Like, how do you think people are going to react, or how are they going to act upon that initially? Like, what is your take? Because you're going to be there with the first time when we open, you're there. So what do you think is going to happen? Yeah,
better believe I'll be there. I've been thinking about that a lot. I've been reading articles on how hotels are planning on reopening, and I'm not even going to get into what they're doing. Their thing's a whole nother ball game. But it's all about adapting. I don't think it's ever going to get back to normal like how it once was. So now it's up to everybody to just adapt to what's going on.
True.
So I definitely do believe that a lot of restaurants, clubs, and hotels and whatnot, there's gonna be hand sanitizer everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be able to get your hands on that super easy. And I could just picture everyone wearing a mask now, and that's gonna be the new normal. I'm already seeing a ton of clothing lines, putting out their own masks. So
how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? People doing that and selling it? Because I bought one, don't get me wrong, but I'm a little bit, I guess, impartial when it comes to that. I'm glad that they're pretty much taking the initiative and they're actually putting stuff out there. But I don't know, sometimes my moral side, my moral compass feels like maybe they shouldn't charge, because that's something that is a necessity right now other than a luxury.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I mean, if I had a clothing brand and I was going to, start, making masks and all that, I would probably just, donate a good amount, and I would sell some also, because right now everyone's trying to survive. Everyone's trying to make money, so you can't knock the hustle if someone has, a clothing brand and they're putting out, a new item. But definitely, show love, to the ones in need, and give out a few donations.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I know one of the biggest gestures when it comes to nightlife in general is when we greet people, the handshake.
Yeah.
So that is something that I want to talk to you about real quick, because, okay, I am the type of person that my handshake is my word. That is my contract to that person, that I'm going to take care of you, not even just on the business level, but also on a personal level, but more on the business level now. Are we, for instance, if you don't want to say it, it's cool, but are you going to shake hands?
That's a tough one, to be honest, because I'm all about the handshake.
Yeah, me too.
The reason why I like the handshake, especially when I'm at work or whether I'm at a function or an event, whatever the case might be, is that once you shake someone's hand, that allows you to start a conversation. So if it's someone that you don't really know, someone that you know who they are, but they don't know who you are, and you want to get to know them, that handshake really opens up that door. So I can't just walk up to someone that I've never met and just try to dab them.
That's not happening.
That's going to be super awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
So the handshake is still going to be around. I think, me personally, I'm just going to save it for certain people.
Yeah, you're probably going to monitor it a little bit.
More dabs,
yeah,
I'll be doing
definitely.
A lot more dabs, but I'm still gonna shake hands and just make sure I wash my hands after. Hand sanitize. Take proper precautions.
Yeah, that the handshake for me, man, is it's an opener, not only for what you said, but also it's a trust opener as well too. Because once a person pretty much brings out their hand and shakes your hand, then that actually pretty much puts pressure and puts onus on you to deliver the job, or just to, you know, deliver whatever you're pretty much delivering. You know, either becoming a good friend, a good confidant, a good host, whatever. In fact, you know, like that is literally a transaction of, you know what, I'm going to begin to see if I can trust this man or this woman. So I've always been thinking that, man. But I'm gonna shake hands, honestly. I think the main thing is that we just need to be okay with, you know, taking precautionaries when we do shake hands, and also don't be necessarily, I guess, don't take it personal when people don't want to shake your hands. That's another thing too. Yeah. You know? Yeah,
gotta adapt. That's what it's about.
Yeah, adapting, you know, pretty much is what we're about. So real quick, you know, you're definitely, you know, a health, you know, guru. I would feel like, you know, as far as like taking care of your health and all that, like what steps have you been taking right now, especially since, you know, you like boxing and everything else too. You haven't been at the gym for that. Like, you know, what
Don't
steps?
remind me, bro.
I'm sorry, man. I mean, man, we were supposed to freaking do some rounds too, honestly, you know, I'm waiting for that. So what have you been doing to really, I guess, to combat that, you know, and pretty much, you know, place that void? Because, you know, being healthy is definitely, you know, very, very important, especially in the nightlife industry for us, you know, when we're pretty much out wee hours, you know, health is very important.
Well, I've caught up on my sleep, I'll tell you that much.
Same here, brother.
If I was behind on any sleep, I've caught up on all that sleep. I promise you that. And for the working out, you know, I'm still training. You know, I'm not training the way I would normally train and like, you know, because I love being in the boxing gym and all that. It's like meditation for me. Sure. You know, it's where I let my mind go and just, you know, throw on the headphones and get lost. But I've just been doing more running, you know, a lot more at home workouts, you know, doing a lot of jump rope. You know, I love the jump rope, so I'm on that. I did like 45 minutes on it yesterday, like nonstop. Great workout. But, you know, I always tell people, if you want to get it done, you're going to find a way, you know, to do it. So the whole thing of like, oh, the gym's closed, I can't go to the gym, you know, it's a bullshit excuse, you know, sorry for cursing.
Okay, that's fine.
You could still get the work in. You know, there's plenty of ways.
I mean, I think that the common denominator, I guess, like, you know, just the common, I guess, phrase here, the word is adaptability. Yeah. And that's what pretty much we need to do.
That's the key word for this whole thing.
Yes, sir. So real quick, before we wrap up, so I have a staple question I ask a lot of people, pretty much everybody who I interview. So if there's one thing that you have learned about yourself during this quarantine / pandemic that you did not know about yourself beforehand, you know, let's hear it.
It's not something that I've learned that I didn't know already, but it's something that I think I keep getting better at, you know, depending on what the scenario is. And it's not losing my cool under pressure.
Okay.
That's something I've always been really good at, you know, at work and in my, you know, personal life. And I think especially when you're in a leadership position, it's like, it's very important for you not to lose your cool, because you have to realize that there's people around you that are like feeding off your energy. Mm-hmm. So if I start freaking out and just being all negative during this global pandemic, then what's going to happen? It's going to rub off on my friends. It's going to rub off on my girlfriend. It's going to rub off on my colleagues. And that's not the energy, you know, that I'm trying to pass around. So if there's anything that I've learned that I keep getting better at, is definitely, you know, not losing my cool under difficult situations.
Yeah, definitely, man. That was great. Nick, you know, you're my boy, man. So I really appreciate you taking the time, man. Thank you so much for talking to us, absolutely, man. Real quick, before you leave, any shameless plugs you want to put in your Instagram, anything else? I don't even know what other business ventures you got going on, but that's like, you know, one of the main reasons why I'm doing it is not only for people who are in certain industries, but if they also have other things that they want to promote. You know, you want to also promote 11, that's up to you. You know, whatever you feel like, you know, you want to put out there. So, you know, 30-second elevator speech for anything.
I mean, I don't really have a speech here, you know, written up or anything. I'll just, you know, throw a little quote out there that, I pretty much made up myself. That is something I live with, like every day, and it's every day you're either getting better or you're getting worse. So use this time to to better yourself in whatever aspect of life that you're trying to work on.
And where can you find you on Instagram?
It's all social media is this is Nick M, and LinkedIn is Nick Manka if you're on there as well.
Appreciate it, man. All right, man. Well, appreciate your time as always, man. We'll definitely be in touch. Thank you so much, man. It meant a lot.
Absolutely, bro.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care of yourself.
Peace.